Good evening, everybody. Hello, this is Gina Ifoe, the one and only African superstar, back at it again with another important thought. I want to give a big shout outs to the customers of the AfricanSuperstar.com. Please do head over to the website. Obviously, our anniversary is November 1st, so some new products will be loaded to the website, and we're going to have an anniversary sale. So make sure you guys are heading over to the website. If you're on our email list, you'll get an email about it. If not, go to the website, get on the email list. You'll be notified. Also, big shout outs to our members only. Much love to you. Big shout outs to the lovers of the African superstar music. Hello. I will be dropping my new freestyle video also on November 1st to commemorate the anniversary, one and only. So stay tuned for that as well. Yes. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please make sure that you do subscribe. Big shout outs to our members only, the first in the building. Hello. What's up, Michelson? I see you there. Much love to the family. Also, big shout outs to Michelle Kendrick sent a cash app to me. I'll be trying to retrieve that. I don't actually have my American Cash App phone with me at the moment. So, but thank you so much for that donation. I got an email. So much love to you. All right, guys. Today I'm going to talk about an important topic, which is where there are trends, there are scammers. Okay. And what actually brought this up, I was watching a couple different documentaries recently. I watched, first of all, a documentary about Indians that are migrating to Canada. And actually some of the very sad and tragic stories about them coming to Canada, kind of having false expectations, them being lied to, people basically opportuning on the whole market of people wanting to migrate to the West, them paying a lot of money for these services, et cetera, et cetera. And ultimately some people dying as they try to, migrate to America, or some of the conditions they're experiencing in Canada. The other documentary that I recently watched was a documentary about plastic surgery in Asia. And apparently in Korea, it's like the plastic surgery capital of the world because they have so many people that have done procedures. And in both of these stories, very sadly, we see big trends, and then we see scams around that. Okay. In other words, we see opportunists. Big shout outs to the family, guys. If you're here, make sure you hit the likes. I see y'all in there. I'm gonna come and greet you in a minute, but let me get my initial topic down. So we see that these trends emerge and everybody kind of gets on it. If you guys have been involved in some type of trends, you know that it heightens your probability to be involved in scams. Maybe if you're trying to buy a certain product, I know, like for instance, online, sometimes people want designer goods and things like that. eBay, I'm a big eBay shopper. Sometimes you buy products on eBay and you think it might be authentic and it's not. You might buy a designer good or maybe electronics and it's not. Maybe basketball shoes or something like that. You have, people trying to capitalize wherever the trends are. And how this is actually related to is the interest on the continent. Okay, because now we have, a lot of interest on the continent. We have people giving tours, and we people have people selling land and all kind of services. And with the trends come scammers. Okay. And what I can offer you is, I always promote you guys to do the very same things. Okay. To avoid being scammed. And that is and will always be the track record. Okay. The track record is a really great place to begin your decision whether or not to do business or continue down this path. Okay. What we also see with the trends is because people are so, engrossed in following the trends. You know, that was a huge thing in both of these documentaries that I saw, was kind of like these people, they're homogeneous societies and they're seeing a lot of their peers do it. So that gives them this false sense of safety. And it also gives competition, and it also gives like this uniformity. So people want to do what the next person's doing. Oh, well, they migrated to a different place. You know, in terms of the diaspora, there's a lot of people now that are looking at the continent that haven't previously looked at the continent because of the trend. Okay. Celebrities going to Ghana, you know, people having music festivals on the continent. You know, it's bringing a lot of notoriety. YouTubers, you know, so it's like now you have people paying attention to the continent. Maybe it wasn't even an interest, but because it has now become a trend, what I encourage you guys to do in everything is evaluate that track record. Okay. Even in the case of these people with the plastic surgery, okay, you know, do your research if you're going to be doing things like that. You know, when it comes to, for instance, land, that's a huge opportunity for scamming. And many people have already been scammed relative to the continent via land. Okay. You've had it happen in the Gambia. You've had it happen in Ghana. You've had it happen in Nigeria. You know, I'm sure there's stories of all across the continent of land scams happening. Okay. You need to do your research well. Don't think those of us that's advising you are hating on you. Okay. If something sounds too good to be true, in most cases, it is. Okay. Somebody's offering you a you know, 10 acres for $1,000. Sounds really good. Sounds really amazing. Do your research. Please stop buying land in countries you've never been to. Okay? You need to do your research, guys. Just because a YouTuber, you know, you see people on social media, it gives you this false sense of confidence that you know them and that they are safe to do business with. Okay? In effect, we don't really know these people. Okay? We don't know their background, we don't know their history. You see them on social media, they pop up in a new country. That doesn't make them an expert. Okay? That doesn't make them a tour guide. That doesn't make them an event planner or whatever, all the stuff that they are scamming and doing. Where there are trends, there are scammers. Okay? This is very predictable because it's been going on since the beginning of time. Okay? When there are trends, there are scams. Scammers, there are people that look at this and say, okay, you know what? I can make a quick buck. You know, I can get in and cash in on this. I know, for instance, you know, in America, back in the days, there was something called the California Gold Rush. Big shout outs to anybody in California or those of you that learned about the California Gold Rush. And basically, there were parts of California that people had found gold. So all these other people from different states started rushing out to California and, you know, with the hopes of mining gold, finding gold, digging up gold, whatever, finding a big enough piece to make a fortune and all this kind of stuff. Okay. There was all kind of scams surrounding that. People finding fake gold, people selling fake gold, you know, all kind of dodgy things that were going on. In America, you had the housing crisis. Okay. People were capitalizing on that whole American dream of owning a home. People were getting into dangerous and predatory loans because they wanted to have the house. Okay. Maybe they couldn't afford the house or whatever. Maybe they had circumstances happen in their life, as in they lost their job, got ill, got divorced, and now this house, they can't maintain it. Okay? Scammers, people looking at the desperation of others, looking at their need. You know, we see this currently happening in America and also across Europe, also with plastic surgery. People going to places like the Dominican Republic. Mexico, going to Turkey, getting procedures done because it's a lot less expensive in these countries compared to getting it done in the West. Okay. I'm not necessarily, I'm a follower. So I'm not someone who gets wrapped up in trends. But I do advise you to look, prospectively at these things that you're participating in to avoid getting scammed because it's like synonymous. It's synonymous. Wherever the demand is high, those opportunities come along and they want to capitalize too. And they're going to say anything, they're going to do anything, they're going to lie to you, they're going to cheat, they're going to steal, they're going to do whatever because they just want to hit it. They just want to hit it hard, they just want to hit it quick, and they just want to, benefit. you know and I mean, I can't really say that I feel sorry for people that become victimized because I mean, my mom had this saying, and I've heard it also from my grandparents. I've heard the saying many times, and it says, "There's nothing new under the sun." Okay, some people have cognitive dissonance, and they think that whatever they're experiencing is some new thing. But in reality, a lot of these situations that we are confronted with in our life and in our adulthood are repetitive things. Okay. You might feel like the world is coming to an end because your partner abandoned you. But there's millions of people that have been in the same circumstance. Maybe you feel, so embarrassed because your career's not going the way you want to go, or you got sacked, or you're dealing with, all kind of, um, chaotic situations you're working for. You're not the first person. Black people, hello. You're not, your racist encounter, especially you live in America. Hello, you live in America. First of all, number one, you live in Europe. You live in predominantly non-black cities or countries or states or whatever. You're not the first person to go through a racist encounter. Hello? Black Americans, you're not the only Black people in the world experiencing what you're experiencing. You know, I think when we humanize what we go through, it will provide you some solace because, and it also gives you some depth into the situation because you understand that, this is a part of, people have been capitalizing off of trends since the beginning of time. Since the beginning of time. Back in the Bible, there's a story called Jacob and Esau. Okay. It's essentially a story about brothers. You know, um, I think the dad's name was Abraham. I can't remember the dad's name, but basically, I think the dad's name was Abraham. But basically, the dad had the favorite son. Okay, and he had, set up his inheritance. All right. The brother decided, no, I want the inheritance. So he tricked his dad to get the inheritance. First trivia question. If you guys have heard about any sibling rivalries, if you've heard about any nonsense going on between siblings, let me see a number one. Okay. In this particular story, the brother basically tricks the dad. The brother with the inheritance was a very hairy man or whatever, and the dad's eyesight was failing, I believe, or something like that. So he got some hair. I think he took like some animal skin or something like that, and he went into the dad, and he tried to trick him, and he got him to give up the inheritance, you know, by deception. Okay, that was listed in the Bible, which, if you believe in it, it's an ancient, you know, story. Okay. But there's stories across all the different cultures. There's things like this deception between siblings. Okay. So the fact maybe your brother or sister played you is no big. I mean, come on. Where there are trends, there are scammers. Okay. For those of us that are heading to the continent, what is going to happen as a result of the continent becoming a trend currently? Those of us that are migrating or have migrated or planning to should anticipate this phenomenon. Because where there are trends, there are scammers. There are going to be people that are coming to the continent that don't have great intentions. You know, there are people that are coming to the continent that don't have a love of the continent, that have ignorance towards the continent and the people of the continent, that are not going to be sensitive to the culture, that are going to try to capitalize. Absolutely. Because it's now a trend. Maturity is going to tell you these things so that when they come, that's why I'm saying I'm a big person on perspective and proactive thinking. Because when you know that these things will happen, when they do happen, it won't get you all disheveled. Okay. Because you can anticipate what's going to happen. It's kind of like, I mean, how many horror movies do you need to see? How many superhero movies do you need to see? How many slavery movies do you need to see? How many romantic comedies? Most of us that are probably over the age of 18 can see a plot of a movie a mile away. Because we've seen similar themes and stories and all of that. That's essentially life, guys. That's essentially life. Life is very, very repetitive. Human nature is repetitive. The things that people do is repetitive. Let's not get all bent out of shape because it's going down on the continent. Duh. Duh. Okay. We've heard all kind of scams about all kind of stuff. And that is usually, like I said, synonymous with trends. There's going to be scams this Christmas. Okay. Every Christmas, there's usually like a hot toy or something. There's a hot, electronic that comes out. It's all strategic. Hello. And, the item's going to sell out. Okay. And then there's going to be people that are trying to capitalize, either selling fake things, uh, overpricing things, all these kind of things relative to whatever. These things are very predictable because we've seen it 150 million times. So that's what I'm talking about tonight on the channel. We need to anticipate life to navigate it well. Obviously we don't know everything that's coming, but a lot of things are very predictable. And so what's happening, for instance, in Ghana, what's happening in Senegal and Gambia and Tanzania, where a lot of diasporans are going as a trend, there's been crazy things happening as a result. Duh. Because trends and scams are like cousins. What's up, family? Please make sure you like the stream if you're here. I'm about to start shout outs. So like the stream and I'll greet you today. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. If you want to be graded. What's up, Lorne? I see you there. Big shout outs to the family. Tony Africa, I see you there. What's up, Joseph King? Hey, what's up? Joseph King is in the building with me in Milton Keynes. What's up, sir? How are you doing today? What's up, GK? Big shout outs to members only. They're in the building. What's up, Montreal on a mission? I see you there. What's up? What's up? What's up? Tony Africa is in Kenya. Big shout outs to Tony. Safe travels. Big shout outs. What's up, Roots Reggae Girl? It's been a minute. I see you there, family. What's up? What's up? What's up? Roots Reggae Girl says won't be the last. Exactly. I mean, I think a lot of times our people are just so wildly emotional. like I said, a lot of these things are very predictable. A lot of these things, you know that it's going to happen. So it should not get you so, distracted when you can kind of calculate what's going to happen. If you want to, for instance, want to avoid this on the continent, okay, if you have not already determined where you're interested to go or these kind of things, I would promote you to go to countries that are not part of these trends. Okay, now obviously I settled in Ghana a long time ago before it became a trend. And, I mean, for me, that's my country of choice currently and for the foreseeable future. But I would say to someone who is interested in the continent and has not yet established themselves, I promote you to check a country that's not getting a lot of notoriety, personally. Because you can slow down your experience with these things if you're not part of the trend. There are many countries that are not part of the trend right now that you're not necessarily going to be subjected to this particular scamming in regards to the diaspora heading to the continent. you know and the diaspora is not exclusively Americans or British. It can also be the African migrants returning, because again, they too can see and understand. You have continentals there that are seeing it and want to capitalize. Land is a hot thing. People want to do land. People are trying to set up businesses and all this kind of stuff. Guys, too legit to quit. Too legit to quit. Be official about what you're doing. Okay, do your research. You know, take your time and plan it well so that you can try. I mean, and even in some cases, you might do what you need to do. You might do the checks and balances and blah, blah, blah. Some of these people are very good. Some of these people are career scammers. It's not a coincidence that when, you watch these crime shows, like I watch a lot of crime shows, you'll see that a lot of these criminals are repeat offenders. They have as they say, a record a mile long. This is not the first time they've done whatever they've done. They usually have a what's it called? A track record. Hello. Of dubious, activities. And same thing with these scammers that are heading to the continent. You know, they might not be legit where they come from. And now they've showed up on the continent and they got social media. And people are like, okay, well, I can do business with this person. I can do business with that person. In regards to how I choose to do business on a continent, I choose to do business through recommendations. Okay. So usually someone who I have a good relationship with, and this is why it's important for those of you heading to the continent to establish relationships with, countrymen of that nation. It could be even where if you're in the diaspora or on the continent, either way, it's important for you to establish those relationships because you can usually plug in through those people. So I would usually ask someone who is near and dear to me, my videographer, my makeup artist, my hairdresser, some of my girlfriends from the gym, my landlord, people that I have established relationships with. Hey, I'm looking for this, that, this, that. Can you recommend someone for me? Okay. Going online is quite tricky. Instagram, Facebook Marketplace, sponsored ads, these kind of stuff is kind of tricky because you don't really know. And when you look at them online, they might have good reviews and, you can't really decipher. But if you have a personal relationship with someone and, you guys have established a relationship, a lot of times they'll recommend someone suitable to you because they know that, especially in African community, they know that if that relationship goes bad, it reflects poorly on them. So for instance, my girlfriend Sarah, okay, my hairdresser in the UK in Northampton, big shout out to Sarah. She's recently given birth and she's not currently doing hair yet. She hasn't returned back to do hair. Clearly you can see that she's not back. But so the last time we met, I said to her, I said, well, can you recommend me a friend or something like that? And she was like, I don't want to give you any of these people because I always like your hair. Sarah's my girl. She lays my hair out. She's like, I don't want nobody to not do a great job on your hair. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying about when you go through people that you know, and or whatever, you can ask for examples, or whatever. So let's say you're having an event. Okay. Let's say you're having an event and you need an event planner. Okay. And you talk to your Nigerian friend, or you talk to your Kenyan friend, or you talk to your Ghanaian friend, and you say, well, do you know anybody? And they say, yeah. Then you say, okay, well, have you done business with them? Oh, yeah, they did my wedding. They did my baby shower. I've used them multiple times. Okay. At that point, then you can say, okay, well, how did it go? What was the cost? Do you have any pictures? That person has personally done business with this person. This is not just a blind referral, and that's what, unfortunately, a lot of our people are doing. Unbeknownst to me, why people are still doing this, I don't know. They're still doing land business with YouTubers from a distance. Okay, so they're in New York and they're in Cali and they're in Ohio and they're in Virginia and they're, online and they're buying land from people on, listen, okay, you don't know if that person is legit. You don't know if that person might not even be a citizen in the country wherever they're living. How can they be dealing lands? They've been living in Ghana for 2 minutes. They've been in Gambia for 5 minutes. Now they're land experts. Now they're property experts. Come on, guys. There's reasons that in UK and America, you got a real estate license. You can't just go and sell a house without some kind of qualifications. Okay, we are very ignorant to the continent, and we're not using basic checks and balances. And then when we get scammed, we want to come on YouTube and make a big video. And at the end of the day, it's like, okay, you kind of got to take some accountability, because I know, for instance, me, I've been saying the same things for years. Yeah. Yeah. So I would say, in the issue of land, okay, if that's something that's on your horizon for the continent, please do that deal on the ground with someone who's tried and true. Okay. Check it out legally. Maybe you go to that community, speak to the chief or speak to some people in the community and find out, what's the status with this land, before you start spending money. Okay. And here's some cardinal signs. I'm going to move on. Roots Reggae Girl just got me on this one. But there's some cardinal signs. Usually if the person is, there's so much urgency with this deal. Oh, come on, Roots Reggae Girl. You got to let me know by tomorrow. You got to send your money by next week. We got to know this land selling fast. Blah, 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 blah. That's always a red flag. Okay. If a deal is legit, you should be able to do your research and get back to them. Okay. There's no, you got 24 hours to decide whether or not you're going to spend $10,000 on this land. It's got scam written all over it. Have you ever gone to a car dealership and then say you got 24 hours to decide to buy this car, or buy, do a mortgage? You got 24 hours to decide if you want to buy this house. These are big ticket purchases that usually take a process for you to complete. I would say land is right up there with that. Okay. You're paying for your land through PayPal, Cash App, Zelle, Western Union. Hello. But where there are trends, there will be scams. Another trend is this, romance on the continent, love on the continent, as I've affectionately coined it. you know, foreigners are heading to the continent with, that being a big agenda for them. And people are capitalizing on it as well. Okay. Ladies, I just want to say this. Okay. I think I might open up the call lines for you guys as well if you want to comment on this topic. Ladies, I would say that overall, in the grand scheme of things, men are not always eager to get married. Okay. That's not something that, in the same way that ladies, for a lot of ladies, that's a big accomplishment. That's a very relevant part of their life to meet their partner, get married, have their wedding, and do all this stuff. For a lot of men, that's not necessarily, what they grow up dreaming about is, oh, yeah, I want to walk down the aisle and marry my woman. You meet a man, very quickly, this person is talking about children, getting married, migrating to another country. Red signal. Okay. Red signal. Ask yourself if this man was stable. Okay. If this man had his immigration sorted, if this man had income, if this man, whatever, fill in the blank, whatever he's lacking, if he had those items, would he be rushing to get married? Why is he not interested in any of his counterparts in the area wherever he lives? So now you done come to Ghana, you done gone to Senegal, and you meet Mr. Tall, Dark, and Handsome with the six packs, the full beard, and he wants to marry you in 2 weeks. And you like, I know that these girls up here in Ghana and Senegal see this man. He's fine as hell. I know these chicks in Lagos see this man. What's it all about? Red flags. Okay, where there's trends, there are scams. Okay, people are going to opportune on you. They're going to try it. It's your responsibility to do your due diligence to avoid being scammed. I mean, I would say overall, avoid trends for the most part. Trends are something that are meant to be capitalized upon. People that motivate trends or create trends, that's exactly what they want to do. They want to create a huge movement, all right, where they can benefit. The trend is not a trend for you. Is there a trend to go to the gym? Is there a trend to save money? Is there a trend to migrate to the continent for proper reasons? I would say a lot of even the interest on the continent is due to the hostility in the West. That's why a lot of diasporans are even addressing the continent. Because again, it's not something they grew up wanting to do. It's something that they grew and developed and cultivated interest based on current events of where they are and what they're experiencing in their lives. Big shout outs to the African superstar family. What's up, Zoo and Shayna? I see you there. So you guys were there for my trivia question. I mean, sibling issues, not new. We want to act like, oh, I don't get along with my sister. I got beef with my brother. You know what I'm saying? This, that. It's nothing new. Jacob and Esau and all them other ones. Adam, what's them? Cain and Abel. You know what I'm saying? A lot. Nothing new under the sun, guys. So let's not act like it is. Let's just be smart and strategic and understand it. Okay? Do our due diligence and prevent ourselves from getting caught up. Okay? You guys don't hear me coming on YouTube talking about scams. Where's my scam video? I made a scam warning video to prevent you guys from getting scammed, because when somebody tried to scam me, I did all the checks and balances and didn't get scammed. Okay? during COVID. People was doing the what's them things called? Oh God. Oh God, there's many things. What's it called? Oh no, I can't remember. Susus. Okay. People was doing susus. I got caught up in a susu. I got caught up in a susu during COVID. People was cashing out. Trends and scams. Okay. Roots Reggae Girl says, as we used to say, you got to peep game because people always try. Facts. Okay. People are watching this thing. And again, because we get so emotional, we're just like, oh my God, I can't believe that, people are scamming in Africa. I can't believe that. Are you serious? You serious right now? Big shout out to the family. The call lines are open if you guys want to call in and greet me. It's been a minute. So if you have anything to share on this topic, but yeah, I'm just trying to, again, talk logic to my audience because a lot of these things that happen are very preventable, are very preventable. And again, you need to be mindful of it. If it sounds too good, okay? If it sounds too good, you get an email from somebody. A lot of people are saying they've been hacked, okay? This is an unpopular opinion I'm going to segment into. A lot of people are saying, oh my gosh, my Facebook got hacked, my Instagram got hacked. At the end of the day, that was you being silly. Okay? Because the hacker asked you for your password, you gave it out. The hacker asked you for your account details, a picture of your driver's license, asked you to send some money, do all the things that people are always warning us not to do, and you've done it. Now, hacking is when somebody actually gets up into your account without you helping them access it. That's a hack. Okay, so when these hackers, when they get into like the banking system or they get into Google or they get into your email, you get that little notification, oh, your passwords have been compromised. That's a hacker. Okay, a hacker gets up in your stuff without you aiding and abetting the hacker. When you actually give the person your own password and they log into your Instagram and lock you out. Okay, when they send you a link that says change password in the link, and they say, okay, click that link, and when they text it to you, you tell me what they text. That's not hacking, guys. Okay, where there's trends, there's going to be scams. It's a part of life. You need to use your noggin up here to avoid getting got. Okay, same rules apply on the continent. Some people look at the continent as if it's like, in outer space or something. Okay, so you're gonna leave America, you're gonna leave Ghana, the UK, you're gonna go to Ghana, you're gonna leave Germany, you're gonna move to Kenya, and you live happily ever after. And everybody's gonna be so excited you're there, and it's just gonna be a fairy tale. Guys, listen. Where there's trends, there's scams. There's people that are waiting to get you. I'm sorry. I'm just going to be honest. Okay. And you need to be smart. It's the same way anywhere around the world. You know, people see you as a foreigner in that land, someone unfamiliar. They're going to try it. Hello. Ladies that are in the dating game. A lot of men, especially these opportunist dudes, these scammer dudes, they study women. Okay. They can see your loneliness. They can see maybe your desperation. They can watch you and figure it out. They know if they roll up and talk to Karen and say, wow, you're so beautiful, that's going to impress you. They know. They're professionals a lot of times. And your responsibility, big shout out to Honesty. I see you there. This is my homegirl from Columbus. Much love to you. Your responsibility is do your due diligence. Okay. I just want to talk to the ladies because I know this love, they call it love bombing. Okay. This dude comes on the scene and he's just Mr. Right, Mr. Perfect. You need to check his background, man. I'm sorry. Okay. You meet a man, he got 50, 11 kids, and he's not taking care of those kids, you know, and now he want to be with you. You need to look into that, man, because, someone who's always blaming the whole world. My mom did this, my job did that, my brother did this, my baby mama did this, my ex-wife, my ex-husband, this, that, this, that. It's always somebody else. Guys, these are the red signs. Okay. And all that BS that our society tells you, oh, don't judge a book by its cover. And, to whom much is given, much is required. And, give the person a chance and people can change. These things set a lot of our people up for failure because you're getting that gut feeling. Okay. You're getting that sentiment. I don't know about this person. This seems kind of dodgy. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I feel uneasy. And then you just disregard that feeling, go head first into the situation, and then you find out. Matrone on a Mission said, it's a shame scammers are trying to hijack the movement. Well, I mean, but going out there to Egypt with Matrone on a Mission, the diaspora ain't flocking to Egypt. Y'all can maybe avoid it. And you got somebody who's tried and true. You need tour information, accommodation, services, and things like that. Matrone on a Mission, she's out there in Egypt. Okay. But I mean, as for me, where I'm at in Ghana, the nonsense has an all-time high. Hello. Because where there's trends, there's scammers. I mean, Ghana's probably like the number one uh, destination for the diaspora on the continent right now. Probably. Following year of return, it's just been, just droves and droves of people interested in Ghana, coming to Ghana, blah, blah, blah. We got these big music festivals, Afro Nation, the Afrochella, that come to Ghana in December. I mean, it's off the hook. And with that comes the scams. You need to be careful. Just because you come to the continent and maybe you feel like, oh, I'm even dealing with an American. Oh, so and so's from New Jersey, they done repatriated back to Ghana. This is a reason why, for instance, me, I don't offer any of these services. I don't want to get involved. Now, Matrone on a Mission, she's brave. She's willing to work with y'all. A lot of people's willing to work with y'all out there, but I don't want to get involved with it because it's crazy. You know what I mean? It's for real crazy what's happening. Black Beauty always. What's up, family? The call lines are open. So if you have anything to contribute to this topic, but I mean, let's just be real, guys. Okay. And when you do get scammed, if you do get scammed, please take responsibility. Don't come and act like somebody got into your body and took over you and you didn't have no control. Look, okay, for real. Go ahead and take that L because 9 times out of 10, I mean, these scams that be going on, sometimes I'll be like, come on, guys. This couldn't be any more clear. I remember one day somebody got up in my Instagram. Okay. I think it might have been a Cash App. And I just wanted to play with him a little bit. I just want to humor myself because that's one of my guilty pleasures is, my DMs is crazy. I get a lot of DM action. So sometimes I just go ahead and engage with them, or sometimes I even block people or tell them off if I'm angry. I just lash out. That's one of my confessions. So this scammer came into my Instagram and they was promising me like $5,000, dollars on Cash App. So I said, okay. And they said, you just need to send me a $20, cash up, whatever. And I was like, why don't you send me $20? I'm like, you talking about you got 5 stacks. Why I need to send you any money? And so we going back and forth. And he's like, yeah, but it's just like a good faith payment and this and that and the other. Obviously, in this particular scam, I'm going to send him $20 on Cash App and he's just going to get my $20. Okay. All the cardinal signs was there. Bad spelling, everything. So when he realizes the Cash App's not going to go down, he's like, okay, look. He's like, I'm going to confirm your details. I just need you to, I'm going to send um, a code to your phone and I just need you to give it to me. I'm going to send you a link to participate or something. And then I just need you to verify with me. Okay. So literally the link he sent me Instagram was the change your password link. Okay. So basically when you click that, it's going to send a verification code to your mobile phone. Okay. And when you type that in, it will then allow you to reset the password. And this is how a lot of people are getting hacked because they will give that verification number to a hacker. Why? But, and I was thinking to myself, I'm like, this is everything they warn us about doing online. But somebody fell for that. Lots of people, I know plenty of my friends that have been locked out of their accounts due to this kind of thing. Big shout outs to the African Superstar family. We got Truth in the room. What's up? How you doing? Are you there? Hello? Are you muted? Okay, Truth, you're going to have to try to call back in because I'm not hearing anything at all. Okay? Okay, guys, please make sure you check before you try to call in that you're ready to rock. Roots Reggae Girl says, come on, there are many places in the world that people have no shame on deceit. Facts. I mean, I watch a lot of YouTube documentaries worldwide. A lot of nonsense is happening all around the world. And I tell you what, in Asia, them people is gangster. They don't even feel sorry at all for whatever happens. They're just like, well, that's your fault. For real. You know what I mean? What's up? What's up? Afroscope TV, I see you. Well, I mean, I have been talking about the depreciation of the CD. like for several months now. I mean, I don't know what you want exactly what you want me to say about I've been talking about this, my dear. I don't know that you watch my channel on a regular basis because you would know that, basically. Basically, I mean, absolutely, the cost of living is going up. And again, this has to do with exactly what I'm talking about because where there's trends, there's scams. With all this spotlight hitting on Ghana, um, the cost of living is going up as well as the depreciation. But the depreciation, quite frankly, has a lot to do with the fact that we are taking in so many imports in Ghana, which obviously I promote people to be self-sufficient. Okay. I don't know why people would be importing things that they can manufacture or grow. We import a lot of foods and things like this from Europe and other African nations in Ghana that we could produce and provide ourselves. But I think that it will come to the point that they're going to have to realize that that's the way forward. Being self-sufficient is always the way forward. But I mean, in all reality, what the average Ghanaian is dealing with, it's not necessarily relative to me. My situation is different. You know what I mean? I have access to foreign currencies. I have access to come and generate income and things like that. So I'm not necessarily experiencing that. Even as the price is rising, I'm able to kind of cushion that. You know what I mean? So I mean, I don't know what extensively you want me to talk about because I've been talking about the depreciation of the CD and the rising cost of living. But look, I don't have the same problems that other people do, so I can't talk explicitly about certain people's situations and problems that doesn't pertain to me. All right, let's see. Truth is back, so let's see if we can hear you now.
Hey Gina,
Hi,
longest
sweetie.
time. How are
How are
you?
you doing? I'm
I'm
fine. How are
okay.
you?
I'm okay. I just want to give you a shout out. I haven't been online for a very long time.
I know. I hope all is well your way, and it's good to hear your voice, though.
Yes, everything's well. Everything's well. Just about to make another move back outside of America. So
Okay.
yes, just putting everything in line. And far as with scamming, oh man, listen. When I just gotta say for the Black Americans, on just the emotional roller coaster of what's going on here in America, trying to figure out what to do. Please
Yeah.
do your due diligence because I put myself out there and I got scammed out of like $15,000.
Oh,
Yeah, but you know what? I learned my lesson. I went to the continent last year, so I
yeah. I
made my
remember.
own connections.
That's what you got to do. That's
Yeah,
what you got to do.
yeah, and it wasn't just Americans that was scamming. It was Afro people from different
Yeah.
parts of the world,
Yep. Yep.
different
Yep.
parts of the world. So yes, please, people, take a visit, whatever country you're going to visit. If it's an English speaking country, just do your due diligence, just overall, period, and just make sure you have a good connection. Because if you don't have a good connection, over there in some place, and it's, shoot, hand to mouth. That's it.
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to survive.
Yeah. Everybody's hustling,
Yeah.
and they think we got it too. So you have to you deal with it from multiple different sides, like you said. It's not going to just maybe you don't just get scammed by a diasporan. You might get scammed by a continental. You never know.
Yes.
Yeah, you know what I
Yes.
mean.
This is
So
true.
you need
Because
to yeah, yeah. I know. I
this
know.
is true.
I know.
But
You
yes,
know.
but it's good to see your face and
Thank you for checking in because I just messaged you the other day. I was like, where is she
skin
at? I
deep.
have not seen you at all.
Well,
So
I'm just trying to stay off the radar and making my move and staying
I understand
focused.
that.
And that's
I
it.
understand. I
Okay.
understand. Well, I'm glad that you're doing good and it's really good to hear your voice. And, I'm sorry about your situation, but
Oh, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Don't be sorry. It's just, I was on that. Oh, what I'm gonna do.
yeah, I know.
So
A lot of people are and then put the cart before the horse, you know what I mean? Like
hmm
just trying to get something popping, you
right.
know?
But
Yeah, I
now,
feel you.
huh, can't nobody tell me nothing because I'm still learning. And then you gotta learn that business language. Do your research. The business language is something else. That language, if you just jumping in like I jumped in, you like, oh yes, oh yes, but
Yeah, I
not
know.
doing the due diligence. I'm like, so right now for me, everything is smooth. It's very
Yeah.
smooth. Yes, and one more thing, I connected with some sisters from Grenada. Hmm.
Oh,
Oh
how's
yeah.
that going?
Right now, I'm just doing my due diligence. That's
Okay,
it.
okay, okay, okay. That's what you
Yes.
gotta do. That's what you
Yes.
gotta do.
Yeah.
That's what you gotta do.
Okay, you keep pushing, Miss Gina, African superstar.
Much love, baby.
Much love
It's
to
so
you too.
good.
All
Take care.
right.
Have a good evening.
You
Bye.
too. Bye.
Much love to the family. She called in and checked up on us. That's our one and only skin deep, longtime family member of the African superstar family. So much love to her. I reached out to her recently. I don't even know if she saw my message, but I just was like, hey, I haven't seen or heard from you. So just checking out what's up with her. But ultimately, I mean, I don't really probably have to tell our regular viewers because you're hearing the stories or you may have experienced it yourself. But all I got to say is where there are trends, there are scams. So you need to just do what you can. And if somebody is trying to pressure you and all of that stuff, then that usually is a red flag, an indicator that there might be some dodginess, because you should be able to have a little time to think over a major decision or purchase. Okay, things like marriage, migration, land deals, property deals, business, all that stuff. If somebody's rushing you to get involved without you being able to check it out, or the deal just seems amazing, or the person just seems amazing, come on. This person has no track record, they have no uh maybe education in a certain particular, you want to let somebody do contracting on your house and they've never built a house before. I'd say no. You know what I mean? Things like this. Big shout out to Africa. Thank you. Okay. Sometimes people come along and ask crazy questions. It's very obvious that I'm not in particularly the same situation that a native Ghanaian person is in. Okay. It's also very obvious that I'm not experiencing extreme hardship that maybe someone, that is living in a country without certain opportunities is experiencing. I can't necessarily relate to certain things. I wouldn't speak about certain things because that is not my reality. Okay. Now I'm sensitive to it, but I'm just not going to sit here in front like I'm struggle life when I'm not. You know, you know, if you want, and I am referring to this comment right here. You want me to talk about things that are not part of what I'm experiencing. You did preface that all the Ghanaian YouTubers, well then that's whose platform you need to watch. Okay, if you want to know how the local Ghanaian person is experiencing what's happening over there, then go watch a platform that's going to give that to you. Hello. My experience in Ghana is completely different as a diasporan. Much love to AfroScope TV. Yes. So yes, guys, I just wanted to have this conversation with you today. I thought that it was pertinent because I know that, although there's nothing new under the sun and, we're experiencing the same things all the time, people like to act like it's a big deal. It's something dynamic. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah, well, just another person emailed me the other day. Um, let's see here. This comes with it, Diane. Diane says repats are not making a mess of it. It's the merchants' greed. They overcharge us because they think they're rich. So, this is something, obviously, this is happening on the continent. But I'm a world traveler and this happens everywhere. That people think that you are a foreigner. They think you don't speak the language. They recognize that you're American. I mean, if you go to the Caribbean, it will be the same thing. If you go to India, it will be the same thing. The local markets and this kind of thing, they're going to try to charge you. You know what I'm saying? They're going to. They know you're a tourist. They know you're a foreigner. They think you have a lot of money. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to excuse that it happens on a continent, but this is something that we understand as a part, and it's also a cultural part as well. The bartering system and all of that versus, the prices just being provided in shops in the West. You go to Walmart, you see something costs $5. There's no haggling, there's no discussion. You have the open market on the continent, which does allow for these kind of things to take place, and it's not necessarily regulated at the market and all of that. So there are ways to get around it. You know what I mean? You can either shop at stores, like go to the mall or go to the supermarket to do your bidding. You can, you know, again, have relationships with Ghanaians, or, you know, you can also verse yourself on a situation. You know, this is one of the things that I always promote, which is, you know, get to understand your nation. You know, if you're living in Senegal, you know, maybe learning Wolof will be to your benefit so that you can communicate better. Finding out the going rate of how much things cost. That way, if you do go to the market, for instance, you want to buy something, you know how much it costs. I've been down at Makola Market, which is the largest open market before, and I went there actually to buy some accessories. Okay. So when I went down there, I was supposed to go with, who was I supposed to go? I think I was supposed to go with Ty Inspire, but she wasn't available. So I ventured on by myself. So when I got down there, I saw something and I got a price, and I stepped away and I called my girlfriend Nellie, who's one of my girlfriends from the gym. She's a Ghanaian that I train at the gym with. And I showed her, I took a picture of the item. I told her how much they was trying to charge me. And she's like, oh, that's a good price. Okay. You know, so there's lots of ways you can go around it. Also, if you have someone who's trustworthy, you might send them on your behalf or have that person do the negotiation for you, so that that person, you know, the seller might not be aware that a foreigner is behind the purchase or the interest. When I was getting my apartment, you know, I had a very close friend of mine correspond with the agent. They were speaking in tree, you know, so that person had no idea that, you know, the apartment was ultimately going to be for me. So there are strategic ways that you can try to, you know, navigate some of these challenges. But again, this conversation is anticipating it and knowing that it's a part of it. Okay. Ghana's popular. If Ghana is a place that you're interested in, you know, even Nigeria, you know, these people are going to be trying to do it. And you need to understand that they're going to be trying to do it. You know, so that makes you competitive, that makes you knowledgeable, that makes you be able to navigate it and avoid situations you don't want to be in. Okay. So big shout outs to y'all family members today. What? Ghana, you know, there's several. I'm not going, this episode's not about the Ghana economy. I mean, maybe I will share a bit of my thoughts and opinions about it. But Ghana's situation is the result of so many things. You know, the number one thing, in my opinion, that is contributing to this situation is because Ghana is not going in a direction of self sufficiency. Okay. Ghana has the opportunity, and Ghana has the interest of the world right now. And what would be in their best favor would be capitalizing on this in terms of investing and growing and developing their country. Okay. And in order for them to do that, they have to reduce their dependence and, you know, imports, and the Western influence has got to be reduced in order to cultivate a better Ghana. Okay. Because if you look at the other successful nations with, you know, booming economies or whatever, a lot of their focus is on developing their own nation and things like that. Um, you know, so I mean, I think this is a critical error. I mean, why we're importing things that we can grow in Ghana, that local farmers are producing, that's not being, you know, patronized or developed or invested in, is beyond me, you know. And I think, you know, I think that, you know, but I mean, and then at the other end of the spectrum, we know obviously when African nations decide and express that they want to be self-sufficient, the West interferes with that, you know, which is why all Pan African leaders somehow are removed, either killed, exiled, or undermined, you know. So I don't know. But yes, the economy is not in a great state in Ghana. I definitely acknowledge that. I know that many, you know, Ghanaians are struggling to keep up with the growing costs, but to also be fair, I mean, inflation is happening globally. So it's not like it's just happening in Ghana and nowhere else in the world. I mean, the cost of living is astronomical in the UK currently and also in America. And across the board, you're getting less for your money, whatever currency you're having. So it is what it is. But I mean, fortunately, I'm not necessarily, experiencing the total brunt of that situation. I mean, and I have options to navigate difficult situations, and I mean, it is what it is, it is what it is. I mean, for all the challenges I do have those advantages. So, and I'm grateful for that, and I obviously I wish my Ghanaian counterparts the absolute best. I love Ghana. You know what I'm saying? I have a genuine love for Ghana. I want to see Ghana win. I don't want Ghana to put me to shame. I done talked it up. I done, went out on a limb. So I have a great, deep investment in Ghana's success, but I'm not at the top leadership making these decisions and things like that. And I realize that it's not necessarily just that simple. So we hope for the best. We hope 2023 brings some needed change to the country, and that the CD stabilizes soon and things like that. But we can't tell. It's such a unpredictable time that we're in all over the world. So but obviously trends and scams. So if you come into Ghana, this is definitely this is 101 for you. Please be aware of this. Okay. Please be aware of this very fact. Okay. Big shout outs. Well, I mean, supply and demand. I mean, when people are willing to pay high prices, it causes that issue. I know that I'm gonna tell this story and then I'm gonna wrap up. Big shout outs to the family. I know that a few months, well, it's been a minute ago. It's probably maybe about 6 months or so. I didn't briefly mention it on the channel, but there was somebody in one of these diaspora migration groups in on Facebook. So basically, this person was from California, and they wrote on there, I'm looking to move to Ghana. I want to find an apartment or a house for, my budget is up to $1,000 a month. Okay, now $1,000 a month is a lot of money for rent and things like that. I mean, 1,000, like you could get in some parts of town, you could probably pay your annual rent for $1,000, you know. And here, this person was expressing online that they're willing to pay up to $1,000 a month for a place in Accra, which is crazy. You know what I mean? So I privately messaged this person and I said, look, I think that this post was not great because you might get people writing you and things and they're not legit, and that could open you up for scams. And, you should probably go a different route. And so, she thanked me and then she deleted the post, and I was able to kind of link her up with a couple people that I know do apartments, but I told her, I didn't necessarily book through these people. I went with the different blah blah blah, but and I expressed to her that $1,000 is a lot of money. And that's not how you barter. Okay, that's not how you barter at all. You don't come out and say, yeah, I'm willing to pay $500 a month for my place. No, you ask for maybe a place in a particular part of town, maybe. I mean, and I wouldn't even do a link like, I know obviously in the West we're very inclined to do things online. That's a very normal part of our life. But a lot of people using online from the continent may have different intentions, especially when they see something like that. So I probably wouldn't do my housing search online, unless it was like a housing website or a property website or like some kind of realtor or agent, land agent or whatever. Um, it's something that you need to do in person, in my opinion, just to make sure you're getting what you need and all of that. But yeah, throwing out your highest price is not the way forward, because that lets them know how much expendable you have. So maybe the place you might have been able to find a place for like $200, but you've told them that your price is $5, so they're going to start with $5. They're going to charge you $500 for a place that you could have got for $2. So I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. But let's all try to navigate all these things. All right. Thanks, guys, for tuning in today. And also thanks, Kendi, for the phone call. It was good to hear from you. Much love to all of you guys that shared your thoughts and opinions. I see you in the building. Until we meet again, stay black and true. If you ain't black, just stay true.